Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminally, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, not very many books. It's my weekly wrap-up. So I have far fewer books than normal to talk to you about today. It's not been a very good reading week for me at all. In terms of volume, in terms of quality, it's been a very good reading week. So I've read some really good stuff, just not very much of it. And that's partly because you may remember I wasn't very well recently, so I had some time off work. So work this week has been super busy as I've tried to catch up with things. And also I've had one less day to read this week because my weekly wrap-up video last week went up a day late on the Sunday. So anyway, I will talk to you about what I have been reading this week in this video, and also talk to you a little bit about what's going to be on the channel and what has been on the channel. Before I do that though, I'm going to do the thing I never do in my videos, which you're supposed to do on YouTube, and say, if you're watching this video and you enjoy my content and you're not subscribed to me already, please do consider subscribing. You can also tick the little bell thing so you get notifications, so you'll get a notification whenever I post a new video and you won't miss them. So yeah, if you're someone who watches me but isn't subscribed, please do consider that, just so you don't miss stuff from me. And also, if you enjoy my content, please do click that like button and leave a comment when you finish watching the video, or even while you're watching the video. It all does help with kind of the YouTube, the mysterious YouTube algorithm and things like that. So it's always a good thing to do. If you like, any creators' content, do give them a like and do comment if you've got something to say about their video. It does make a difference, and it does help us as creators get to know what people like and what people appreciate about the videos we're making. Anyway, ramble over. Let me talk about what I've been reading. So I think last week when I filmed on the Sunday, I was reading this for Shorty September for the Victorian Shorts prompt, which was to read a historical book. So this is an edge western by George G. Gilman. This is book 19 in the series, Ashes and Dust. This was just really fun. I mean, the Edge books are much of a muchness really, in terms of they're all, fairly similar, but always quite entertaining. They have a nice bit of kind of not terribly good, but I quite like it, humour in them, and they're always action-packed. This one was no exception. So in this one, Edge teams up with this woman who's been attacked and had a load of money stolen from her by this vicious gang, and helps her get revenge on that gang. So just a fun, brutal 70s western. I also read and finished this week, so I only finished 2 books this week, so the Edge book being one of them. The other one was a book called Silent Key by the author Laurel Hightower. So this book comes out early in October. I think it's the 11th of October, something like that. So I got an advance copy from the publisher. This was really good. So I've read one Laurel Hightower book before, which was her Mothman book From Below, which I reviewed on the channel a year or so ago, I think. So Silent Key is a really, it's kind of hard to describe, but I would describe it as a lovely mix of different things that make up a good, entertaining, popular novel. So it's essentially a horror novel, and it's got a supernatural element to it, but it's also got a really nice kind of old school thriller vibe running through it. So it's about this woman who is a cop whose husband has been murdered, and she's discovered since he was murdered that he was cheating on her. She goes to stay in her uncle's house. Her uncle has recently died as well, and all sorts of weird supernatural stuff starts happening to her and her daughter fairly quickly. And both the uncle and the husband died in slightly mysterious circumstances, in that there's not really an obvious reason for their death, and their corpses were soaking wet when they were found, even though they were on land. And it just kind of spins up from there. So a really, really nice mix of kind of supernatural horror, and the horror was genuinely creepy at times. Old school kind of detective mystery thriller type vibes, and a nice kind of second chance romance running through it as well. So I had a really, really good time with it. I thought it was really great. I will do a review of it on the channel, probably to coincide with the release day, so sometime in October you'll see a review of it. So yeah, those are the 2 things I've finished. I'm currently reading this again for Shorty September. So this is Once Were Warriors by Duff. So this was sent to me by a subscriber, Justine, a little while ago. This is so good. So this is for the, what's it called? I think it's the half and half shorts prompt, where you read a book and then watch the movie based on it. So this is a book from New Zealand written by a Maori author, really just about the Maori experience of living in modern New Zealand. Doesn't have a plot exactly, but it's following this family and the things that happen to them. But it's incredibly powerful. I say it doesn't have a plot. A plot hasn't really appeared yet, let's put it that way. But it's incredibly good, really well written. It's got kind of a stream of consciousness kind of style to it. But yeah, incredibly powerful and gripping, and I'm really, really enjoying it a lot. I'm also reading a book that I can't talk about yet, but that's been sent to me by the publisher, which is a horror anthology, a new horror anthology. You'll see a couple of videos. I'll do a review of it on the channel soonish, early October, and I'm partnering up with the publisher to do another video about it before then. But yeah, an interesting new horror anthology, which I'm really, really enjoying. And then in terms of my reading for the weekend, I will continue reading Once Were Warriors and that horror anthology. I'm also going to read this month's pick for my Patreon book club, which is The Whistling by Rebecca Netley, which is supposed to be a kind of a bit of a slow burn, but a really atmospheric, kind of suspenseful, supernatural type book. So looking forward to that. I'm going to try and get that read this weekend, and then we'll go back probably to Once Were Warriors after that. So in terms of channel stuff then, in the last week, since I've come back from being ill, you've had a few videos. I managed to fill all of my normal slots this week. So you had my video announcing the Occult Detective October reading event. So that's a reading event taking place in October, where we're going to be reading occult detective stories. Occult detective stories being stories about, mysteries about detectives that have a supernatural element to them as well. So, a really obvious popular example of the occult detective subgenre is the X-Files TV show. So really looking forward to that event in October. I also did a review of Holly by Stephen King, his new book, which I really enjoyed. And I did a video about 5 authors that I don't want to read again, which has been very successful. So I don't normally do like negative, what I would call like negative style videos. I think most of my videos are positive, but it is quite fun to have a bit of a rant every so often. So this is a video about 5 authors who, I kind of feel like I've been stung by them and don't want to read their work again. So it's performing well in terms of views and loads of comments and engagement. Some from people agree with me in terms of my choices of the 5 authors. Some people passionately disagree with me and trying to change my mind. So it's been a really interesting video to watch the reaction to. And then in the week ahead, a few different things. So I've got a video I'm going to put up about paper books and why I think we love paper books so much. I'm going to do a book haul video. So I've had a ton of paper books, funnily enough, land in the last week or so, particularly a load of kind of trashy mental adventure type stuff. So I'll do a book haul video for those. I'm going to finally film my Garb August wrap up. So I managed to read in the end 40 books for Garb August, so it's going to be a long video. So because I was ill, I didn't manage to film it, and I haven't quite had time to film it since then. So I'm going to get that filmed this weekend. That will go up soon. And then probably a review of Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle as well, which is a new horror book that I had a good time with. So I'll be reviewing that too. So hope you've all had good reading weeks. Do let me know in the comments what you've been reading. Let me know if you've read any of the books I talked about. And as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.